Hello and welcome to Never Seen It, a podcast about movies that we've never seen. My name is Trent. I'm here with my lovely wife, Betsy.
Hi there.
And today we're going to continue on with our 80s throwback, or whatever you want to call it. We started watching some 80s action movies and we had a really good time. So let's just continue on with another Kurt Russell movie, Big Trouble in Little China.
Yes, sir.
Betsy, neither of us have watched this movie.
That is accurate.
And I think that's going to be the case for all of these movies that we end up doing here.
Certainly the greater part.
Yeah, save for a good few. So
I think the only experience to action movies I have is I've seen a couple of Arnold Schwarzenegger ones.
yeah, I've seen like the first two Terminator movies.
Yeah, well, that's a little different too. That's not exactly the same category, but...
Well, at least it started with him.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I got nothing.
So Betsy, what do you know about this one?
Precious little. I know Kurt Russell is the star of this movie.
Yeah.
And it occurs to me, I don't know if I've ever seen anything with him very young. Until we watched Tango and Cash recently,
Yeah.
I have very little knowledge of his stuff from the 80s. He was always kind of a middle-aged man to me.
Yeah. Yeah, he was always been an old man, and like it's the old man Kurt Russell thing.
Yeah.
But in reality, he was a big star in the 80s and 90s.
Absolutely.
I mean, he was up there with Schwarzenegger and Stallone and all those other guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, he just kind of went away for a little while, and he made a big comeback with that the Grindhouse thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with Kurt Russell, I don't group him in with those same guys because I don't consider him much of an action star. I think he just sort of ended up in these kinds of movies.
Because those are the kinds of movies that got made.
Right. He's more an actor. And in a lot of ways, he's mostly like comedy. He's like a comedic actor.
Yeah.
He can do serious, but if you think about all the movies that you know him from, they're for the most part kind of funny. Action movies.
Right.
Funny action movies.
Yeah.
As far as this one goes, the only other person I know who's in this is Kim Cattrall.
Yeah, I did see her on the poster.
Right, and that's the only reason I know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really know what this movie is about. Do you have any inkling as far as like other people who are in this or
No.
the plot?
I don't know
Nothing.
what is going on. He's brandishing like an SMG in his hand on the poster, so there's going to be guns and shooting.
I guess
I'm
so.
going to assume.
And, you know, the implication, Little China, it's like a Chinatown situation.
Yeah.
I don't know what city, if we're in
Nope.
Los Angeles, if we're in New York,
I don't know.
or what. Because this is in the 80s, and this is Little China, I have to assume there's going to be some horrific racism in this movie.
You don't really go into these things expecting anything else. But
I feel like there's going to be something in this movie that just makes me absolutely cringe.
yeah, troublesome is the opt word there.
Yes. I think this movie, more than a lot of those other ones we've watched, has the potential to have some moments like that. Just because of the title of the movie and my assumption about where it takes place.
Yeah, and the people who are involved. So.
Yes. But as far as why there is trouble and what kind of trouble...
It's big trouble, Betsy.
Oh, I'm sorry,
That's
it's
the kind
big.
of trouble. Big
It's
trouble.
big trouble. Why it's happening in Little China, I do not know. I don't know why the white man has to be involved,
Because it's the 80s.
except for being the 80s. And yeah, I'm going to go with raucous good time and the guy gets the girl.
Yeah, sure. I'm with you. All right, Betsy. Let's make this one a short one. Let's go and watch Big Trouble in Little China. We'll be right back. Hey, we're back. What the fuck was that?
You don't even ask me.
No.
You're just like, I'm going
No,
right into this.
This needs an immediate reaction.
That was almost incomprehensible for most of the movie. I was like, wait, what?
Almost.
What? Well, okay. make sense, but at a certain point, I finally sort of followed what little plot there was.
You're following Jack Burton here. You're kind of in the seat of Jack Burton in the entire movie.
You're the everyman who is an
Yeah.
outsider and doesn't understand
Right.
what the hell they're looking
It's
at.
a fish out of water story, Betsy.
Yes.
that old trope.
It's just that story also involves ancient Chinese curses.
Mysticism and magic.
And he's just rolling with it.
Yeah, doing his best John Wayne impression. Seriously.
There's a song.
There's a song at the end called Big Trouble in Little China, and we've been singing it throughout the house since we stopped watching the movie.
Little China. Best thing about the movie. Yeah, it just sort of drops you right in immediately and then keeps throwing stuff at you. This feels like somebody who has never written a screenplay in their lives but had some important friend got it greenlit.
Yeah.
Because it just...
Oh no, we have to actually get people to come and see this movie now.
From
Who can we get?
From the beginning, this movie doesn't make any sense. And there's stuff that they set up that they never address again. Or they just throw it in there and we're just expected to go with it.
Yep.
So the movie starts in a lawyer's office. And Egg is there.
His name is Egg.
His name is Egg. And it's the actor who is the grandpa in Three Ninjas. So a very late 80s, early 90s dude. And he is lawyering up, but we don't know why.
We don't know why. We are told that there was a giant green explosion that took out half a city block in Chinatown in San Francisco.
He kind of says something about, I believe in magic, and then lightning comes out of his fingers. And I was like,
this
I'm
is
sorry,
nothing.
what?
So what kind of a movie is this?
I didn't realize this was lightning in our hands kind of a movie.
No.
But then, of course, there's no resolution to that scene.
Of course, that's in the future.
But I know, but there's no resolution to
I know.
it. Why is it here?
Well, and he just says at the very end of the movie, I've promised myself a vacation, so I'm just going to leave. Well, when do you go and visit with your lawyer then? Is it right after that?
I don't know. And then we're introduced to Jack, who is a truck driver.
Yeah.
And it's like the Pork Chop Express is the name of his truck.
Yeah, and he's
then it
narrating
says,
his shit on the CB radio.
And it says hauling ass on the front.
Of course, with a sexy lady.
And he ends up in Chinatown on a rainy night and he's gambling.
Well, yeah,
But again, it just goes into it.
Right, he delivers his livestock to...
Is that what it was?
To the market in Chinatown. Yeah, that's what he was delivering. I don't know
even-
where he dropped his trailer.
But I didn't see anything on the truck. I didn't see the contents of a truck.
They opened up the side of it, and that's where the livestock came out.
Okay, I missed it entirely because I was so distracted by the lightning hands that I was just like, wait, what's happening? And then, of course, this keeps happening throughout the movie. He's driving his giant truck down these narrow alleyways, and all I could keep screaming was, you're never going to get that out of there! Yeah, so he just spends an entire night gambling with these dudes.
Yeah.
And
they're all friends.
And they're all friends.
And his one friend, Wang, I guess he's known forever. I think he's another truck driver.
But they don't say that.
They do. Because he asks, where's your money? It's probably back in your truck.
Well, no, he was in like a pickup.
Was it a pickup?
Yeah, they showed him getting into his truck.
I didn't see that part.
So yeah, no, they say he owns a restaurant.
Okay.
So that's his thing.
Okay, fine.
But yeah, so they're going to settle up. But then he's like, but first you need to take me to the airport because there's this girl I've known since I was a kid and she's flying here and I love her and we're going to get married.
Right.
And then like Chinese street hooligans show up and it's just like, what is it happened so quickly.
But before that, we are introduced to Kim Cattrall.
At the airport.
Just at the airport, and she's being very coy about whatever she's there for. And like, Jack goes up to her and tries to do whatever pickup line he's gonna do, and she's like, "Oh no, this is not going to happen," and you think it's gonna be a kind of a normal movie from here on out, ignoring the first lawyer part.
Right.
And this gang of Chinese thugs come out of nowhere and start causing shit.
Right.
One of them pulls a gun, one of them pulls a knife, and they kidnap the girl that Wang is waiting for.
Right.
And Kim Cattrall is also there to pick up a different woman who we don't really see again,
We see
and
her
she didn't really
once.
matter.
She's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
She's like some kind of human rights lawyer.
right, but then there's this whole like chase scene and we end up in Chinatown and there's rival gangs
Yeah, we are.
who just shoot each other up in the street.
And then, yeah, there's just this action scene for no reason.
And they're just there in the truck observing.
Right.
So
Like-
it's just like, what the fuck?
Kurt Russell doesn't really do much
For the first,
as
like,
far
20
as like
minutes.
action.
No.
Yeah,
No. And the guy with him is just there to explain things.
sure.
Like I said, it's like the guy who wrote this movie just wrote human exposition.
Sure.
That's all it is. It's
Yeah,
just
he's Mr. Exposition.
he's Mr. Exposition. And they watch this whole scene unfold where they have this massive street fight. There's this black and red gang and a black and gold gang.
There's a white gang with who is performing a funeral.
There's a funeral that
Yeah.
they don't really explain.
No, and like they shoot up the funeral procession. They drop the casket.
Yeah. And then just like 3 magical dudes appear out of thin air, like
Yeah.
some Raiden motherfucker with lightning.
I'm glad you got that.
And then another mystical dude appears out of, like giant green ball of
Yeah.
smoke. And he's apparently invisible because he gets run over. Like it's
Yeah,
just
he's
like,
not actual
what
matter,
What am
right.
I watching?
Yeah, the whole goddamn movie is like this,
Yes.
and I don't get it. I don't get it. Why?
Well-
Why did this happen?
And then they just start shoving people back together. So like Wang knows who Kim Cattrall's character is, and she
Right.
appears at his restaurant. Her
Right.
name, and he says she's a lawyer. Her name is Gracie Law.
Yeah.
Law.
Yep.
She's a lawyer,
Mm-hmm.
and her name is Gracie Law.
Miss Law.
And so she just like spouts a whole bunch of stuff about, oh, they're kidnapping women and they're gonna sell them.
Yeah,
and
and the
that's why they
woman-
took your girlfriend.
And the reason why they took her is because she's so exotic, because she has green eyes, and Chinese women don't have green eyes, apparently.
Right. And then she also brings in like a reporter,
A journalist.
a journalist to like crack this story open.
Right.
And they go to a brothel and he's just like in character. And it's just like, what is the point of all of this?
They don't explain anything that they're going to be doing.
No, they say-
They just say, okay, this is where she's being held. You're going to go in there and act stupid.
and find out what's going on.
Right. And he's got this getup on, like he's some,
Geek.
geek business person. And yeah, he goes in there and he says specifically, I'm looking for some kind of colorful, like a Chinese girl with green eyes or whatever.
Fresh off the boat.
Fresh off the boat. And it's like, whoa, Chinese girls don't have green eyes. And I guess the madam of the brothel goes back and she goes to check on the woman who is tied up back there.
Yeah.
But then Kurt Russell gets back into a room with somebody else who is like, I don't know.
Another Chinese girl who
guess.
is at the brothel.
And all he's trying to do is interrogate her to try to get some information. But then all hell breaks loose again, and the lightning people come in and shoot holes in the walls and the ceilings and whatever else to kidnap the girl with green eyes.
Okay, so here's where I was getting so confused. Because there's sort of this implication that the gang that's all in black and red
Yeah.
and the lightning dudes are working together. So why did they kidnap the guys at the airport? Kidnapped her,
Yeah.
took her to this brothel, but then the guys they're working with kidnap her from the brothel?
I don't know. I don't know who's working with who, and like by the end of the movie, the black and red dudes are working with Wang.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, no, those were the gold and black dudes that were working with him.
Okay, fine.
But again, it's so
I have
incomprehensible
no
and hard
idea.
to follow.
I have no idea.
So yeah, I'm like, who is actually with who? Whose motivation is it to be with this girl? What's happening here?
And really, Betsy, it doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter.
Because the next scene, we're introduced to this reporter chick.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, the guy you ran over was Lo Pan. And she's like, Lo Pan, the businessman who runs half of China, the recluse and the loner who hasn't been seen because he's such a reclusive character that he hasn't been seen in years?
She's Miss Exposition.
Oh my God. And then this movie, guys, people like this movie.
Yeah.
Trent, this movie
is like a classic.
74% or something on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
It's fresh. This isn't a rotten movie. This is a fresh movie on Rotten Tomatoes.
And the only reason I think that is the case is because it is so ridiculous, and Kurt Russell is the perfect person for that role.
You know, I was watching him in this movie and I had two thoughts. One, his mullet is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
It is peak mullet Kurt Russell in this movie. And secondly, I'm coming to realize he kind of always plays the same character.
With a knife in his boot.
I don't think Kurt Russell does much in the way of actual acting a lot of times. He's just sort of Kurt Russell.
Well, he's Kurt Russell doing I said it before, he's kind of doing a John Wayne impression. Have you? I just noticed that here.
Yeah, I suppose.
Think about it. Like, he's all well, I don't know. He doesn't do
the
it
cowboy
with the
thing.
kind of a cowboy type of thing.
Yeah, the cowboy boots and the tight jeans.
Yeah.
And he's just like waving guns about.
Yeah.
He has a knife in his boot. And he'll just kiss the girl if he wants to. And
right.
Yeah, he's not quite a himbo. He's too smart to be a himbo.
Yeah.
But he's too dumb to be, like the real big leading man. Sure. That's why he's an action star.
But yeah, that whole thing was distracting to me. And there's not really a lot of other Kurt Russell movies I've seen.
Right.
And I didn't get it when I watched Tango and Cash the first time or the most recent time. But this one was just apparent everywhere.
Oh, yeah. And there's like a scene where he starts the movie in a long sleeve like sweater.
Yeah.
And the first opportunity he has, he wriggles out of it and he's just running around in this tank top with his bare arms out the rest of the movie. Just like, oh, I need to conveniently lose this sweater now.
It's too hot. It's hot in here.
It's too hot. Yeah. And then to try to get to the meat and potatoes of what this movie actually is, he goes to rescue this woman with Wang.
Yeah, they go and infiltrate the compound.
They're taken prisoner.
Yep.
And we find out that Lo Pan is like a 2,000-year-old man. And he needs to marry a girl with jade eyes so that because he's magical and he has his physical form, which is old and decrepit, and his mystical form, which is young. And it's James Hong, who I've brought him up on this podcast before. Prolific Chinese actor, absolutely prolific.
Yes.
He has to marry this girl, the right girl, because he can perform a ceremony and then he'll become flesh again and he can take over the universe in the afterlife.
Sure.
And he explains this to Kurt Russell, who just goes with it. he just goes with it. He's just like, oh, okay then.
Right. He's just this aw shucks kind of a guy that just goes along with whatever it is that is presented to him. Say, okay, we're going to kick ass.
Yeah. So they get him. They get there. There's an elevator that fills with salt water. And there's just bodies, and he's just like, what is this place?
And here's where it really becomes a John Carpenter movie. I had no idea this was John Carpenter before we started watching this.
No.
And yeah, it shows in the last half of the movie.
It's a little bit of a creature feature.
It does. It becomes that. So we got all these hanging bodies upside down in the salt water.
Yep.
Later we get this hairy monster. That is just
a beast.
Yeah, just some kind of beast. And then we have this floating eyeball of eyes.
Yep, a face with an eye in its mouth.
Yeah, it's all eyes.
But it can see everything and transmit messages.
Back
then
to
there's
Lo Pan,
one scene with a giant sewer spider that takes a guy and then it's gone.
I didn't even see that. It must have been on screen for half a second or
It
something.
really was quick, yes.
Okay, I didn't even see that
Yeah,
one.
the guy, when they're kind of infiltrating, throws something at it and there's like an explosion. He's like, appear no more!
Right. I didn't see the monster. I saw that there was something coming out of the
It's
tube.
so fast that you almost don't even get a good look at it.
It's almost as if they made this thing, they wanted to use it somewhere, and that was the only place they could use it.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just this like sequence of weird events. So he gets tortured, but then they're being pushed around in wheelchairs, and then they get locked up in a room, and then the bad guy comes, like one of the henchmen,
Yeah.
comes to put another prisoner in there.
Yeah.
And
They were freed. They freed themselves.
They free themselves, but it's like just weird little moments. Like he starts to expand his body to throw him off of him.
Right.
And then he like goes wildly down a ramp in a wheelchair and almost falls into a well.
Why is there a well at the bottom? Oh.
What is this building? And they
Yeah.
keep making commentary where they're like, we don't know if this elevator is up or down or where
Right,
we
there's
are.
a lot of talk about going up and down.
It's like underground, but above ground, but it's a big dock and warehouse where it's like
Right.
a front for a business with actual like armed security guards in uniforms.
Right.
And then ninja henchmen below. Like, I don't know what I'm looking at here. And so like Kim Cattrall gets kidnapped as well, and the guy
because
decides
they go after him because they've been in there too long.
and she also has jade eyes,
Right.
so he's gonna marry both of them.
Yeah, marry both of them and then sacrifice her to
Right,
whatever.
because again, we're just gonna keep adding little bits like, oh, well, yes, he has to do that, but then he also has to sacrifice his bride to appease the emperor.
But then he's going to keep the Chinese girl with green eyes to satisfy his earthly pleasures
Right.
and kill Kim Cattrall. So-
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And there's like a prison full of women for no reason that has women guards, and they like free all these ladies.
And I mean, I guess this is more of the human trafficking element here.
Right, but they don't elaborate.
No, nothing is elaborated here at all.
It's just
they
like-
don't explain why they're doing it, where they're going, who's gonna be there, and
Grumble,
what they're.
grumble, grumble, street gangs, grumble, grumble,
Fight.
human trafficking, grumble, grumble, fight, monsters, magic. Oh, and by the way, Egg is also some sort of sorcerer.
Right.
What? What's happening?
Wow.
Yeah, and then, Kurt Russell, like you said, is playing the everyman, and he's playing kind of a buffoon. So, like, there's a scene near the climactic finish of the movie
Yeah.
where he has this little gun, and he fires it into the air and shoots the stone, which lands on his head and knocks him out.
Yep.
But then he wakes up right away.
Right.
What was the point of that?
It's Kurt Russell can't do any big ass karate moves, so
Neither could anybody else, really. They're just hooked up to wires, and you just keep seeing bodies flying.
that too. But hey, Wang was actually pretty good. Which, by the way, Wang can really fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but no, I think the whole reason for that is Kurt Russell can't do any karate moves,
No.
and let's just kind of tap him out for a little bit. Let everybody else do their thing.
We've got 20 guys here who are going to fight those 20
Yeah,
guys.
and if all he has is a gun, that's not fair.
Yeah,
That the thing is over too quickly.
right. We need swords, and we need other Chinese fighting things that I don't know the names of. A
Yeah.
couple of these guys have, like,
Yeah.
special little tools. And there's dudes with lightning hands, and there's dudes who are super strong, and there's a magical dude with a special escalator. Like, literally, Lo Pan shows up
Yeah.
in this, like, dungeon, what do you call it? Like a temple sort of a thing.
Yeah.
And the two brides.
Honestly, it looks like a taken over shopping mall.
That's what I thought!
Yeah, with the escalator and everything.
It literally has an escalator, and it's supposed to be this spooky, mystical.
With a big skull.
There's like a skull and a giant like figure of Buddha or something.
There's Buddhas everywhere.
And these two brides have been possessed, and they aren't in control
They're
of their own
entranced.
senses.
Yeah.
And they appear for their wedding riding down an escalator. And it was so stupid and so distracting. It's like, why does the ancient Chinese possessed demon man have an escalator? What am I watching? And then, like when the big fight starts and he's performing his ceremony, Egg is saying, no, don't stop him. Let him go through with it because then he'll be flesh and we can destroy him.
Right.
Which is a pretty common trope. Like they do it in The Mummy. They do it in Pirates of the Caribbean. Like these guys are all invincible until. Yeah. So he holds him back, but then they start this big fight. And then like Lo Pan has like these two pinky fingernails that are like 4 inches long, and he crosses his fingernails,
and then they have this astral projection fight in their big like samurai garb type of thing. It's not samurai,
so he's got like green light comes out of his fingers, and then Egg has purple light, and the two converge, and they have these two guys all dressed up as warriors fighting each other in the middle of the air.
And it's just fake. It's nothing there. Nothing. It's, oh my God. Betsy. I don't know what I watched. I don't know why that was a thing.
I don't know if this is just one of those things where if you can accept that this is the stupidest movie, that you can enjoy it. Or like if people just watched this as kids and thought it was amazing. I don't
know.
I am just befuddled. I am befuddled. And then, at the end of the movie, they win. Like he finds Lo Pan, who almost got away.
Yep.
And he throws a knife at him, but he misses.
Yep.
So Lo Pan picks up the knife and throws it at him, and he catches it with his bare hand and throws it into his skull.
Reflexes, Betsy.
It's just reflexes, Trent. And then, one of his henchmen blows up. One of his henchmen, they drop a Buddha on him and he explodes. I don't know what happened to the other guy, because there were 3 of them.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what? And then they just are like, we did it. We got the girl and we're all happy. And we defeated the evil.
The ending is incomprehensible. Why is it the end? Why is it the end? We got all these security guards and all these other guys who are just shooting this bus, Egg's bus, and they just go back to where they come from anyway, back to the restaurant, and they have some Chinese food, and that's the end of the movie.
Like the gangs don't still exist.
Right.
Like they don't know their names.
Exactly.
And can find them in any minute.
Exactly. How was that an ending?
Right. And then Egg's just like, well, I've been preparing for this for so long, and I finally did it, and now I can move on with my life and take a vacation.
Right.
And then, Kim Cattrall's character's being all doe-eyes with Jack. And he's like, oh, I gotta hit the open road again. And she's like, don't you want to stay? And they're like, oh, aren't you even gonna kiss her goodbye? And he just looks at her and is like, nope. So he doesn't get the girl.
So he got paid.
He's not interested.
He got paid.
He got his money from gambling.
Right. He got his winnings. He got his truck back.
Yep. He doesn't kiss the girl goodbye because he's not interested. And he immediately is back on the open road talking on the radio again. But then the monster, the little beastie dude, is like in his truck bed. So there's like no real conclusion because it's like giving you, oh, it's not over yet, folks.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. And then we get a song called Big Trouble in Little China by this random band I've never heard of.
Nuh-uh.
And I'll tell you this movie's an hour 40. It's incomprehensible rubbish, but at least it moved quickly.
It did, but only to a point for me. Like the action scenes were very ridiculous.
Yes.
And like the quick cuts and like the zoomed in shots and like it's like they just didn't want to show you all of the like wire work and whatnot. Like they couldn't be bothered to try to hide it normally, so they're just gonna be on screen for half a second and just cut away.
Well, like one of the things you said, every time the guy with the lightning hands appears, it's
like he's
sliding holding a pole.
It's like he's holding on to a pole going up and down.
And it's almost like that's exactly what he was doing.
Right.
And then they just took it out in post.
But like you said, it was like an hour 40. actually kind of was a little long for me.
At the beginning, I think it was, because
Yeah.
I was trying so hard to figure out what I was watching.
Right, it's like because they're leaving so much in the past and not explaining any of it, and then
Right.
we're just moving on. We're just moving on to the next thing.
Right. Well, and then, like I said, at the end of the movie, it doesn't tie back to the beginning.
No, not at
like,
all.
Like Egg keeps saying, "You keep Jack out of this." What did Jack have to do with any of this?
Why do you care about Jack?
Why are you after Jack? He didn't do anything. Is this
No.
because he murdered the 2,000-year-old man?
That's the only thing I can think of.
No one really cares.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
And there's random side characters who are just like, hey, let's fuck. Like, they're given the restaurant maitre d' and the reporter chick, they're like making eyes at each other at the end of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And there's no reason for it.
No.
And why is she there? What story? The story, what, huh?
The story is about the human trafficking element. 'Cause I
Is
think
it?
that's what Miss Law was really going after here.
Miss Law, the lawyer.
Yes. That's what she was doing in trying to crack that case, or whatever case you want to call it. Uh-huh. But in reality, they discover all this extra Chinese mysticism that they weren't a part of either. They're just as confused as Jack is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
me,
like all of
I'm
the
also
other
confused.
Right, and then all of the other Chinese guys were like, it's complicated. We grew up with it. We're Chinese.
Again,
so-
exposition, like, it's lack of exposition. There were so many
they just
moments.
wave it away.
There were so many moments where they just didn't explain it. Like, Egg shows up when they're all about to get caught.
Yeah.
They're about to get cornered by the guy with the lightning. And he's up above them. And they say, how did you get up there? And he just says,
It wasn't
easy.
It's a great explainer.
It's lazy,
in that it
but
doesn't do
also,
anything.
Yeah, it's a lazy writing choice, but it's also a funny writing choice.
It lets you forget about it.
It's just move on.
Yeah.
Move on. I don't
Don't
need
worry
to
about it.
explain.
I'm John
It's
Carpenter.
not that kind of movie. Just shut up. Yeah, it's just full of moments like that where people are just a front for something else, and everybody just lets you march into wherever you want, and then you get captured, and then you escape conveniently, and then the people blow up, and lightning and tornadoes and earthquakes and big green balls of smoke
And there's this giant cavernous dungeon thing
under the streets of San
under
Francisco.
the streets of San Francisco. Of course.
Yeah, I should have considered San Francisco as a city of origin for this film, but
Yeah.
it didn't occur to me.
Who knows? There's a lot of different Chinatowns.
There are. Yeah, and just the dialogue just kept getting to me, like weird little things that I wrote down. At one point, Kurt Russell says, "Son of a bitch must pay."
You're right.
I don't even remember the context, but
No,
it was the way he
it's
said
after
it.
they're escaping the airport, and they go and they almost run him over with the sports car, and
Yeah.
he jumps out of the way, and he looks at him and says, "Son of a bitch must pay."
Yeah, what? The tool with which the guy is performing the ceremony is called the Needle of Love. The Needle of Love.
And what is this ceremony? He's just sticking things into her wrist
Yeah.
for what? Is he just trying to make her bleed? Is he trying to take her blood? Didn't he suck her blood at some point?
He did.
Yeah.
He did suck her. Is he a vampire now?
He's a Chinese vampire. That's it.
Oh my god. And then just even at the beginning of the movie, he's gambling with his friend.
Yeah.
And his friend says nothing or double.
It's double or nothing.
Right, but I've
Yeah.
never heard anybody say it nothing or double. I always hear double or nothing.
Well, it's what I would explain that as is a language barrier.
Regional choice or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Translating it in his mind, but backwards.
I don't know.
It's the only thing I can think of.
Because Kurt Russell says it too.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, I've literally in my life never heard anybody say nothing or double.
I've also never heard the back and forth of no horse shit. Yeah, no horse shit.
Yeah.
What?
There's only one F-bomb in this whole movie.
Yep, it's PG-13. You're only allowed one.
Yep, and this was in the 80s.
And it was kind of a throwaway, too.
It really was. Is this wall... it's like, a wall, like a screen, a painted screen or something. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, this wall is hollow. And he goes, fuck it.
Fuck it.
It
was a
didn't need
throwaway.
to be there.
No.
You could have taken that out entirely and not had any in this movie, and it would have been exactly the same. It served no purpose. It didn't add emphasis. It didn't have a point. He could have said nothing and done the same action.
Yep.
So yeah, the thing about the dialogue bothered me. The incomprehensive plot bothered me. The acting is awful.
What acting?
Exactly.
They're just
Trent.
reciting lines here. There's no point to what they're saying at all,
No.
except to further the plot.
Except-
whatever plot there was.
Except then it doesn't even do that. So like there's
There
all
needed to be
these-
more dialogue to explain what the fuck they're doing.
Right, like the whole thing with like Kim Cattrall, he sees her from a distance in the airport and is
Yeah.
immediately attracted to her.
Yep.
And then they kind of flirt a little bit. When she shows up later, they flirt a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Then she's suddenly deeply concerned for his well-being
Right,
when
when
they're
they're
trying
in
to
the
escape.
sewer. When they're in the
Jack,
sewer.
Where's Jack?
Jack?
Where is he? And then they kiss, and she's like, "How dare you?"
Right.
Like, okay, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And then they're like cuddling and canoodling against each
You
other.
keep rubbing up against me.
Yeah, and then at the end of the movie, nothing.
They're in the elevator together on the way out.
yeah.
Then they make out in the
And
elevator.
she's like, "Is this really happening?
Right.
Oh, is this really
You
happening?"
fell madly in love with him.
And his mouth is covered in her lipstick.
That was a nice touch.
And then she wipes it all off him.
Right.
But then at the end of the movie, she's just like, we could have a thing together. No, thank you. And
Bye-bye.
he goes away. So it's like,
The open road. That's
your
what Kurt Russell
relationship
wants.
is pointless.
Yep.
That whole subplot meant nothing. What? Yeah,
Big Trouble in Little China.
that's the movie. I will tell you this much. I didn't know what this movie was.
Clearly, neither of us did.
And did it at least did it surprise me? Yes, because clearly I have missed a memo somewhere about what this movie and the contents thereof are.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't have known any of this from the poster because it's got a kind of iconic poster
It does.
that people have seen a lot of. But yeah, woof.
Yeah, it's him in his tank top holding the machine pistol with Kim Cattrall kind of hanging on him, and there's like all these other people around him. You have to have seen the movie to understand all the references and whatever else in the movie. But your eye just goes to him and the gun and the tank top.
Yep.
Oh man.
This is a choice we made, Trent.
Yeah, and it's a movie that I've wanted to see forever because it's one of these classic 80s action movies that I've heard clearly not enough about.
Obviously.
But just the fact that people really love it and revere it.
Why?
I don't know why. I don't know why. But you know what? I enjoyed myself. I had a good time. I'm still confused as hell.
Right. I think that's my whole thing with this movie is, did I follow it? Only to a point.
Yeah.
Like, I just explained the plot to you, so clearly I was paying attention.
Yeah.
Did I hate it? No. Did I enjoy myself? I don't know. I'm just confused and bewildered at
I
how
was
something
looking
like
over
this
at
got
you.
made.
You had a smile on your face, but it was more of a smile of bewilderment.
Trent, I smile when I'm confused sometimes.
Okay.
Because I'm entertained, but also I'm going, what the fuck? What the fuck is this?
That is this movie in a
That was
nutshell.
the face I was making. So, yeah, do I need to watch this again? God, I hope not. No, thank you.
I mean, if nothing else, we could have introduced other people to it.
I guess.
That's it. Just having that little nugget of knowledge about what the movie is enough, I
Maybe
think.
that's what this movie is, because it's just, if you watch it on your own, if you seek it out on your own, it's gonna be like this for us. But if we knew somebody who loved this movie, who wanted to show it to us, and you watch it through their eyes, you tend to appreciate things more.
Sure.
But we are novices to this film and going in blind, and it just, I'm just befuddled.
Yep. All right. Betsy, that's gotta be the end of this one because I don't know what else to say about it.
Yeah, this is one I think one must just experience for themselves.
Yep, absolutely. So let's end this thing with an email from Stephanie.
Let's do that.
We got an email about The Devil Wears Prada.
We watched
A
that
very
movie.
different kind of movie.
Very different.
From Stephanie. I love Anne Hathaway, Meryl Streep, Stanley Tucci, and Emily Blunt. The movie is fun. When I was in high school, I wanted to be a fashion designer. I would make up my own clothes and get some, quote, look at that weirdo stares.
It's called fashion, look it up.
That's right. I ended up realizing that I wasn't quite brave enough for the fashion industry. Now I kind of just don't care enough about, quote, high fashion. I think Andy and Nate are a classic case of outgrowing each other. He is right. She changes fundamental things about herself, and she is right. He is unsupportive. I think they no longer fulfill what they want romantically. They should definitely stay broken up instead of getting back together.
Truth.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yep, absolutely. Oh, poor Tucci. He gets super screwed. He does. He does. His mentor and boss just completely screws him out of a promotion that he well deserves.
Yep.
So, yeah. Quote, don't have heroes. Thank you, Trent. Words to live by. Yeah. Don't meet your heroes. And above all, don't even have heroes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, you guys are great. Love you from Superfan Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephanie. We love you too. So, Betsy, that's another 80s movie in the tank. I'm glad I watched it. I'm glad I have that experience, especially with you.
We got that one out of our system.
We did. I'm looking forward to more of them. We're not going to do like a thing with 80s movies. We're just going to sprinkle them in throughout.
When the fancy strikes.
When the fancy strikes, we've got a whole list of all the ones that we're eventually going to get to.
There's
but
so many, guys.
If you have a little nugget of a movie that you really want us to watch, that is like one of these classic 80s movies
like
that maybe
this.
we didn't get,
Yep.
email us at neverseenitpod@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter, tweet at us, DM us, whatever. Neverseenit_pod on Twitter. If you want to help support the show, throw us a buck on Anchor. Click the link in the podcast description. And if you can't support us that way, just share the podcast with your friends. Rate us on iTunes and the Googles and the whatever else is.
The places you listen to podcasts.
Yeah, those places. Go and rate us 5 stars or whatever they do. So yes, Betsy, that's the end of the show. And short one today.
Thank God.
There's not much else to say.
There's just no meat on these bones, but there's so much meat on these bones, and I don't know how else to talk about this.
It's like a little
movie.
tiny fillet. It's all good, but it doesn't last very long.
Is it good?
It's great, Betsy.
Okay, Trent.
But until next time, I've been Trent.
I have been Betsy.
And this has been Never Seen It. We'll catch you next time.
Bye, guys.